I haven't done an update on my 2B mindset progress. So when I started, I was counting the days. And then I realized that the 2B mindset is a lifestyle. There isn't a beginning and an end. This isn't a program that's going to last 3 weeks or 60 days or 90 days. This is a lifestyle, and this is something that is just kind of mind-blowing because I can ditch those before and afters, and that I am constantly a work in progress, and I am constantly running scientific data on my body and the way it responds. And I've had some huge turn of events since I did my last video, but I started following the 2B mindset and adopting Alana's principles on February 2nd. Since then, we've had a lot going on. We traveled. We had a very close family friend admitted into the critical care unit, and he almost died. And so I spent a lot of time at the hospital and going back and forth. And I got sick with, I don't really know what it was, sinus or maybe a touch of the flu, but all these different things that normally would completely knock me off track or have me so freaked out that I thought, oh, I've blown it, I'll restart on Monday. And I've re-adopted a new mindset of that it doesn't matter, I don't have to wait for a certain day because there is no beginning or end. This isn't a program. This is a mindset. These are tools that I get to carry with me. So when I started really trying to switch everything with my diet after finding out what my food allergies were, on January 15th, I was at my heaviest I've ever been, and I was feeling so hopeless, so distraught. I was angry and confused, and I felt crazy, and I spent tons of time and thousands of dollars trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I spent countless hours doing research and going back and forth to the doctor trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And I started to lose belief in myself and what had always worked, and I had exhausted every effort I felt. So once I kind of got the answers of what was going on, that a lot of the issues that was an inflammatory response, which was causing weight gain, was food allergies, I was able to remove those foods from my diet. And I thought, surely this is going to be like the answer. And it didn't. I lost a few pounds. And these were the few pounds that I had lost every time I'd gotten really dialed in, but it was making me crazy. It was making me feel confined. It made me feel like I was missing out. And towards the end of this frustrating journey, I really felt like, what is the point? Like, I'm working out, I'm eating right, I'm doing all these things, and I keep gaining weight. I might lose a couple pounds, but then I'll gain more. And I mean, I was up to like 30-pound weight gain over 2 years. And I also felt like, do people who are following me think that I'm a fraud? Like, how can I keep gaining weight and sharing that I'm healthy and fit? But at the other end, I had to do like a gut check that like all of my tests came back that I was extremely healthy, like extremely healthy. But at the same time, it was kind of disappointing because I'm like, I just want somebody to say, this is it, and this is how you fix it, or this is how you manage it. So I started using the 2B mindset, and I actually started to see weight loss. But at the same time, I was feeling still like, is this really going to work? Like, is this it? Am I just going to lose a few pounds? Because, we were a couple weeks in and I lost a few pounds, but is this really going to work? And I am happy to say that since I weighed in at my heaviest on January 15th, and today is February 27th, so we're like 6 weeks out, I've lost 10 pounds. And over 6 of those pounds were since I started following the 2B mindset. And my goal that I'd set was 1 to 2 pounds a week. So I am well past that. And so I have something that's coming up in about 8 weeks, a little less than 8 weeks, about 7 weeks. We have a trip to Mexico. And so I've always been one of those people that like, I work really hard, I go on a trip, and then it's like balls to the wall, and then I'm like, oh, but this is what I'm going to do next to combat that. But, so my goal is to get to the 25-pound weight loss mark by the time we leave in April, the end of April. But what is so awesome is that I'm not looking at how far I have to go right now. I'm celebrating the fact that I'm down 10 pounds and I've far exceeded what my initial goal was, to lose a pound to 2 pounds a week. And the fact that I'm seeing weight loss steady. I'm collecting the data. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing what works on the times that I eat, the foods that I eat, how my body responds, how I feel energy wise, because that was a big thing that I was really experiencing, was really low energy and fatigue. I'm noticing the inflammation. Today I'm having like a good day. Like my face is not all puffy. My hands and feet aren't puffy and they don't hurt. And so these are the exciting things that I could have never found if I wasn't tracking what I was doing. So this is really important. But really, the one thing that Alonda's taught us is that we will get to our goal, but let's not lose sight of what we're doing day in and day out. So let's focus on 2 pounds at a time. So right now I'm like, okay, let's get to the 12-pound weight loss mark. And then I know that I'm going to get to my weight loss goal before we go to Mexico by just focusing on those 2 pounds. And she's like, nobody's ever lost 100 pounds without losing 2 pounds at a time. So that has been really helpful. And so to throw a wrench into what was going on, but really I don't feel like it's that. I don't want to look at it that way because it's just another piece of the puzzle, but I was diagnosed, I say finally, with PCOS. I was just diagnosed. Thursday will be 2 weeks, and it's taken me a while to kind of just, I guess, I won't say accept it, but it was like, in my midst of my research over the last year, a lot of my symptoms kept going towards PCOS, but I kept thinking like, no, because the only reference I knew to PCOS was always that people or women that were struggling with infertility found out that PCOS was the root cause of it. So I was totally shocked when I was diagnosed with that. I'm like, how can that be? I've had 3 healthy kids and, 2 of them were not, planned for. So I didn't really notice any, issues with infertility. And then, my doctor told me that it is sometimes not diagnosed till it's people in their 40s. And I'm kind of at that peak state of when it would be diagnosed. And so I was like, okay. And then I started thinking about how every time I've had an annual at my OBGYN, I've had lots of cysts. I've had endometriosis cells. I've had very irregular periods and very brutal periods since I started to have a cycle as a teenager. I've had miscarriage. I found out whenever I was pregnant with my second daughter that took 11 months to conceive. Now looking back, I can understand that. I lost a twin. We had her, but during that time I had cysts even when I was pregnant. And it wasn't anything, I guess, that was alarming, I guess, at the time to anybody. I was young. I was in my 20s. I didn't think to ask. But I have all the signs, the belly fat, the oily skin, the acne, the oily hair, all these things that I didn't even know were signs until I've been starting to do research and follow people. And I didn't really want to talk about it with anybody until I kind of had my facts of what the symptoms were. And I've realized now that the 2B mindset is exactly the food that you need to eat if you're struggling with PCOS and you want to manage the symptoms, if you want to get your insulin resistance under control, if you want to balance out your hormones, if you want to lose weight. So this is the perfect timing. Like God, if you want to say this is God's timing, it's God's timing that all of this happened right now, because this is exactly the tools that I needed. And so as I started to lose faith in my body and even thinking all the things that I had that were resources stopped working, I realized now that the same set of tools that I have are going to work to fix this. That I just have to tweak things of what I'm eating. And that was one thing, is that I was in the 80-day obsession test group, and it was an amazing program. My butt went from here to up here. I got stronger. My cardio endurance got increased greatly. I love what the program did to help me get on track with organization, because when you're following Time Nutrition, you definitely get more organized in your life. And God, somebody with ADD, I need that. However, why I didn't lose as much weight when I had the weight to lose with 80 obsession, I realize now, is because carbs are not bad, and I can even eat carbs, but I was eating a lot of the wrong carbs that were spiking my blood sugar levels, and I was struggling with insulin resistance. So all the carbs, I was eating a higher amount of carbs, and my carbs were not being turned into fuel. So now I realize that I knew the program worked. I saw it in my body structure. I just didn't lose the weight. And I realize now that I need to change the carbs I'm eating and change the amount of carbs I'm eating, which with 2B mindset is ideal. And that's why I'm finally seeing weight loss. So 80-day obsession works. And so I'm sharing this message because there's a lot of people out there who may be doing 80-day obsession, loving the meal plan, but not seeing weight loss. And so maybe they're struggling with what I was struggling with. So as well as the program and the Time Nutrition works beautifully for some, there might be that small section of people that I belong to that it doesn't work with because of the higher carbs. So carbs aren't bad. Like carbs are not bad. You need carbs. You need the right type of carbs and you need to structure them right in your daily diet and time-wise. And that's something that once you start doing the 2B mindset, you can see if your body's going to respond a lot better to that. But I love the fact that we don't have to cut out carbs. Like carbs are great. Carbs are yummy. Carbs are what you need to build muscle, to function for energy. But sometimes your body just doesn't use them efficiently. And so I'm so thankful for the 2B mindset because it taught me to listen to my body. And that the best thing about Alana and even Autumn talked about this when I was in the 80-day obsession test group is that there's bio-individuality. Everybody's different. So there's not really a right or wrong, but you need to track it to figure out what's right for you and what's working for you. And best of all, I don't feel like I'm missing out. Like today, it's 2 o'clock and I'll be leaving in a few minutes to head to a funeral. And it's a couple hours away. There's going to be food after the services. I don't know exactly what they're serving, but I don't feel stressed about having to pack foods. I don't feel stressed that like I'm gonna, like freaking out that this event that came out of the blue is gonna mess me up. I feel confident. And when I step on the scale every morning, I'm not fearful of it. I'm excited. I'm down at the 10-pound weight loss mark. And I did think like, what is the scale going to say? And I had this struggle of like, oh my God, am I going to go up half a pound or a pound? Oh no. Like, I was so proud about that 10-pound weight loss mark. And then I was like, no, don't fear it. Use it as a way to collect information and track your progress. So I stepped on it this morning and guess what? I maintained my weight. I didn't gain, I didn't lose, but I didn't gain. And so that means that my body's responding to the way that I'm eating. So I'm super excited. And so I hope that 2B mindset is something that you will give a try and have great results with too.